Third purpose of jihad. This is where I think, this is where I call where the rubber meets the road. The third purpose of jihad is to test who the true followers of Allah are. Now we read in Matthew 25 in the Bible a parable where Jesus talks about separating the sheep from the goats, right? The sheep are on one side, the goats are on another side, and Jesus talks to the sheep, first of all, and he says, welcome, I'm paraphrasing this now. He says, welcome, faithful servants. When I was sick, you visited me. When I was in prison, you visited me. When I was poor and hungry, you fed me, and so on. Enter into your eternal paradise. And on the other hand, he looks at the sheep and says, I was sick, you refused to visit me. I was in prison, you refused to come to me. I was hungry and poor and naked, and you didn't feed me and clothe me. Be cast out of my presence into everlasting hellfire. Now, Jesus was separating the sheep from the goats here. He wasn't suggesting, by the way, that it's our deeds that save us. What he was suggesting is those who are his true and faithful servants, those who have submitted himself and made Jesus Lord of their lives, will, out of the nature of their new created being, be doing these glorious good works. That's how we know who true followers are. We can be fruit inspectors. Well, who are the true followers of Allah? According to the Quran, those who engage in jihad. This is how Allah separates the sheep from the goats, as it were. Who are the true Muslims? Who are the true followers of Islam? Surah 3, verse 179. Allah will not leave the believers in the state in which you are now until he distinguishes the wicked from the good. How is he going to distinguish the wicked from the good? Surah 3, verse 142. Do you think you would enter heaven? Listen to this. Do you think you will enter heaven while Allah has not yet tested those among you who strive hard and fight? Ibn Kathir even tells us in his commentary on this particular verse, you can read it up here for yourselves. Just if you doubt me, it's right here in black and white in Islam's own source material. He says, Surah 9, verse 16 was revealed. The purpose of Allah revealing this verse was to distinguish between those who obey him and those who disobey him. So who are the true followers of Allah? Who are his sheep? Those who engage in jihad. Surah 19, verse 20, or Surah 9, verse 20, makes it even more explicit. Surah 9, verse 20 says, those who believe and suffer exile and strive with might and main in Allah's cause, with their goods and with their persons, have the highest rank in the sight of Allah. They are the people who will achieve salvation. They're the ones who are going to achieve salvation. Those who strive hard and fight with their might and with their lives. Surah 47, verse 4. It's a very, very long verse, but at the end of the verse it says, if it had been Allah's will, he himself could have punished them without you. Surah 47:4 talks about when you meet the disbelievers in battle, strike off their heads, cut off their heads, take some of them captive, tie a binding on them, take them into captivity. So it's talking about armed conflict. It's talking about jihad. At the end of the verse says, if it had been Allah's will, he could have punished them without you, but he lets you fight in order to test some of you with others. He lets you fight. Allah allows you to fight to find out who his true followers are. He tests some of you against the others. How does Allah separate his sheep from his goats? By those who participate in jihad.